some of this stuff I knew, and some of it I didn't know, but I wanted to know. I wanted to find out what really went down. So you may or may not know the Nation of Islam produced a book a bunch of decades ago called The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews. And it documented it says that it documents the history of Jewish involvement in the slave trade, and then goes on to say, Jewish involvement in the slave trade was massive, and they, like you said, are chief financiers or chief participants or leading participants. So I decided, to not just read what people I agree with say, but also people I don't necessarily agree with. Perhaps in the people who are the analogs to the Nation of Islam in the Jewish community are not my allies, right? But I think that what they have to say can't be dismissed outright if they did scholarship. So I wanted to judge it on its own merits. So I read that book that they wrote that was called Anti-Semitic. And what I found was, I did find some of the language to be offensive. I did find that it kind of exaggerated and went over the top and, built up a bit of a straw man and kind of elaborated to it, to an extent that I felt was unfair. But having said that, I felt that they also documented facts that are unassailable, and they sourced it impeccably, realizing that because of their hard right politics, that they would be attacked and their credibility would be called into question. So they footnoted it, to the nth degree, and left tracks so that they could be followed up on and verified. And I was not able to follow up on everything, but I was able to follow up on no small amount of the claims that they made in their books. And those are the stories that I've told you earlier when I spoke about that. Some of those were stories that I first found there, but then went to the original source just to make sure that they weren't quoting it out of context or inventing it all together. And sadly, those are truths that we have to face. We have a messy history, and we have to look at it honestly, accept it, acknowledge it, if we're to make amends for it. I also read the Anti-Defamation League's response, because I thought, okay, well, maybe they're just going to show me how the Nation of Islam book is bullshit and how it's all made up. And it was a joke. It's pathetic. It was so, I don't even want to start. The point is, it would not stand the most basic scrutiny. It was pathetic hack job. And I expected more from them, even from them. They just completely dismissed the book outright without relating to the vast, vast majority of its claims. So, in summary, I felt it was a bit unfair and that it was a bit demonizing, but, as I said, my conclusion, from my perspective, that Jewish folks did participate in slave trade to the same extent, approximately same extent, as non-Jewish white folks